Good morning, esteemed viewers and followers. Just to remind you once again, this is Fine TV Gambia, your only viewpoint, and thanks for joining us. This is, of course, the return of your current affairs program here on Fine TV Gambia. And of course, today, our theme or the central topic of discussion will be centered on the current political development in the Gambia. So with me here, Mr. Mohamed Eliman Ba, who is a youth leader, and of course, the IPR of Team Gitteh, right? Yeah. And of course, we have Mr. Omar Sanya, who is not new to this platform, right? So he is a strong, supporter of the of DOI, that's the PDOIS, right? So in that regards, just to remind you, it will be a fruitful discussion. Like I mentioned earlier on, it will be centered on the current political development of the Gambia. Mbadi manigwana kamwela malkondo na kabwale Fine TV Gambia. Your viewpoint natale den ka muru na current affairs program oto bidu nga me jibe ka kula melan ko political ala nyado ta nyingambe bango nyiwati njang. So kama du binga mufla so jamu Mr. Eliman Bati, Mr. Mohamed Eliman Ba ate boda team Gitteh le fana bod foninke nyado ngolom fana nga mosoro melan fo Omar du manke mot melan ko akote adale platform o jang sande Omar mol ni jalta Fine TV jibe bage Omar ka mot melan ko ani Mr. Babe they are always, present here to kata kula myalango walebe banko affecting ani kudo fana. So kama do ndelebe ke la host Ibrahim Mbaye as a continue kan jibe. Say Mr. Ba kadum program on the proper ambal bismillah ambal jala kana alamul invitation on munna kana Fine TV Gambia. So tukan ngaro kuma say Mr. Ba it been a young politician it get a so it Gambia political de ñaar sante Gambia political atmosphere ay ñaar sante
Abarakabake, Mr. Mbai, and shout out to all the viewers, and thank you for having us, and thank you Fine TV once again. Thank you for contributing to the development of this country. You guys are really doing great. For the youngsters of this country, from the CEO down to the last staff of Fine TV Gambia, we say thank you so much. And thank you for having us once again. Umar Sanya, thank you for sharing the platform with you. Especially the people of West Coast region. Shout to all of you. Regards to all of you. The Association of Gambian Geographers, where I serve as the president. Greetings and regards to all of you. Omar, happy to be here once again.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Yeah, so Omar, any more than your content?
Yeah, thank you very much. Maningo lana kamera Momodou continue to conduct. It's Fine TV again, your only viewpoint. So
thank you very much, Omar and Mr. Mohamed Eliman Ba. So kanyingaro da mutasai, Mr. Ba. Ite kita position amialongo ebe team Gitteh. Ite Gambia la political atmosphere nyare sante.
Abaraka bake ni Gambia la political tarambulo jibe generally political whatever decision will make wala nyindiko politics shape and sharpen people's life wala nyindiko mola monafon the food that we eat, the electricity that we pay, in every part of issues that we do in a country is politicians that shape that. So it is important that people take or participate in Gambian politics, especially this country. There are a lot of changes. Since 2016, people, things are changing. We expect that. But most importantly, what we expect is positive change. In my opinion or individual view, I might have, an opinion that there is positive change that is going on. Another person can have a different point of view. That is politics for everybody. And
yeah, like left le priya fonyo comme ça itela own perspective is there any process positive way forward or have you seen any fede kujel mi yalango nyanta bi jele fo nyanta je gamel political science for the past months?
Yeah, in Yalong, that is very general. There are some aspects me Yalongo nyanta bi jele. There are some aspects me Yalongo we have retardations. There are some aspects they are stagnant. Talking about the economy of this country, others believe, my personal self, I believe it's not, it's not booming as we expect. The democratic aspect of this country is fine and it's going normal. There are freedom of speech, freedom of movement and the like. You talk about, the political space, we still need maturity as far as the political space is concerned. The issue of personal attacks and stuff like that. Gambia still need to learn about, we need to be aware of, what do we mean as, what is politics per se? What is still lacking. But we moving. Remember, we came from a 2-decade dictatorial era. Taking that from that dictatorial seat, it's difficult. 7 years have gone. It's okay for me. It's normal. I mean, we keep moving.
So, I mean, in a nutshell, Mr. Boy is saying that there is a positive movement.
There is a progress, of course.
Thank
There
you.
is a progress.
Thank you. We'll come back to that. So, Omar, I mean, what is your take on the current political, atmosphere of the Gambia?
All right, thank you very much. Very back, Mr. Bob. Kumaya at back to more reflection, okay, on things and times that are happening in this country. Now, in as much as political parties will exist, people will still cross carpet from one political party to another. But the fact of the matter is, we have to understand one thing. You have one in kind of question. Why am I cross carpeting? Is it because it is in line with what I preach, or they're not in line with what I preach? That is why we have political parties. I said it somewhere else here. Political parties are built based on principles. Every political party has a principle. So that is what we believe in, and that is why we join those political parties. You talk about DOE, they have principles. You talk about UDP, they have principles. You talk about GDC, they have principles. Even NPP, to some extent, maybe they have principles. But the fact of the matter is, it is going to be very sad, like I said it earlier on, that individuals who were constantly criticizing the government, constantly telling people how weak the government is, they are joining the political bandwagon of the president.
So is that promising?
It's not.
Why?
It is dooming the country and it is sinking. The future of this country is going to be in the hands of individuals who are just there right now. Individuals like them. There is no future for the youth. Because you and I know that, like Ba mentioned, politics balu national and political. As we are speaking right now, American price is $2,250. If my salary is $3,000, for instance, not $2,250 is a man bonus and yellow trouble. So I around $850. No man can know $850. It is the sole responsibility of politicians to regulate what is happening in our land, most especially when it comes to the lives and the livelihoods of the people. So, Sign, you ask yourself this question. Many are thinking, joining the political party. We were here talking about Sabally joining NPP after criticizing them. We said it was a political blunder. Because Sabally political parties are built based on principles. And Sabally benun coming preach. And in Baro benun coming ke or la Baro benun ke kanu. And sayang benun ke kan are two different. Gitteh was doing the same thing immediately after covering CD Tamendi and he started criticizing the government. Constantly. So saying you all joining the same bandwagon with the president again. Gitteh was there for his personal good, but not for the interest of the people. That is the sad reality. I joined NPP because of my own personal interest. Gitteh himself, I got transparency man to NPP. Because Kabiri CD Tom Manganyaro at the fay, ya cheated. So there was no transparency. So what cheated me, Minkera at the fay Minkera at the primary elections is something I weekly. So I need to determine into polls from the same political party, but Kabira primary is separate. So they all went to polls solo. So what happened coming for the politicians are like a consistent in whatsoever that you are preaching. Ninko jang one. Sama sinin nina nyanyi ngambavle one. Vantaranol. Politicians are going
So
you are changing, or you should change the lives and the livelihoods of the people. So side consistency, it's part of human attributes.
so are you saying the Gitteh and others are not consistent?
But it is very plain. More plain.
Okay.
Even our viewers are saying.
So Omar, in a nutshell, I mean, Gambia Politico, how will you rate it?
Gambia Politico sign. If I'm to rate it over 10, I would just give it 2. Everything in this country is not working. Everything. From politics, from social, economic, security wise, everything is not moving. So as I know 2 from Sarah, let's say what? Every day along, something happens in this country. Something bad. Not very good, bad. What is the government doing about it?
Okay, Omar, thank you. We'll come to that. Going back to Mohamed Eliman Ba, of course, the IPRO of Team Gitteh. So, Mr. Ba, take us through Gitteh's cross carpet.
Yeah, I think this will be a very, very, very tense, program. I want to believe because
absolutely.
Yeah. So I have a different view regarding his viewpoint. Regarding the political landscape of this country, he have elaborated some issues, but Umar, is forgetting some very, very important issues. There is difference between cross-carpeting and hula baloo happening within a political party. You talk about Sabally cross-carpeting, fine. We will not, debate about that. That is okay. Sabally was an APRC militant, then to UDP, then to NPP. What baffles me the most is, why is it a big noise for people like Sanyang and the core having that lot of noise about Sabally moving from UDP to NPP? Sabally never moved from UDP in itself. Sabally moved from a political party to United Democratic Party. That was very normal for majority of the Gambians. But it is never normal for Sabally to move from UDP to NPP. That's a big question mark. Let's make this thing very clear. Gitteh never moved. Gitteh is a co-founder of National People's Party. He founded the National People's Party. He helped immensely for President Barrow to take mantle in 2021 presidential election. Gitteh is a co-founder of the NPP. The problem was, help us to be the flag bearer of Brikama Area Council. The NPP, that gang of leadership, including the president, they refused. So at our end, Team Gitteh, we believe we have principles, like you made mention. We have some principles that we cannot never bend for anybody. You understand? Even though we were answerable to NPP, we have our own reserved principles. Gitteh was the first person to announce his interest or his candidature under the NPP placard to run for Brikama Area Council. But because of the influence of money and influence of other people, they choose CD from a Dori political party, from your political party. They choose CD on top of our candidate. I mean, we cannot accept that. That brought the breakout. But there was nothing like, Gitteh was not from a political party to NPP. We formed that political party.
But the moment he returns back to NPP, I mean, he has cross-carpeted, because, I mean, the reason...
There was no letter that indicates. He never said, I left NPP. He never said that. You cannot show me that anywhere, Gitteh from his mouth, that I left NPP. Or a letter from our office to show and indicate that Gitteh was from...
But Gitteh indicated that during that time, he was not with the NPP.
That was because he's going for independent. He was going solo. Gitteh was going independent. That was normal. At Brikama Area Council, 3 prominent people were looking for the seat. That is the UDP, their flag bearer. That is Yankuba, Ahmed Gitteh, and Sidi. You understand? Don't left me mobile and Wolonutiko, Batarea. We are the most deserving to run the position of that chairmanship under the placard of NPP. NPP, they refuse. But then we don't have to succumb to their dictators, and that wasn't so. It was not good. It was not a good sign. I mean, for us, if we cannot have your credit, I believe you cannot denounce our move. I want to believe that.
But I don't call it. Gitteh once made it very clear on LSTV that Barum Hasidoldi, that, I mean, what they were doing was something like that. And then let's assume you saying that. No, but that remains a question. That's to be answered. Now, saying Nico Mum Hasidoldi. Just Sama, we see you with the person. Sajmal Hasidol say. Are you the Hasido or is Hasido?
Well, at the time when we are going for an elections, they betrayed us in a sense. We went for primaries, a very democratic primaries. We scored 31 votes. CD of the Doi scored 30 votes.
CD is no more.
Okay, you justify that.
CD is an official Doi supporter. We have proof of that all over. You cannot denounce that. CD is an official. From CD, he got 30 votes, and the rest, CR the rest of the vote. That was a simple majority. But then, when you are denying something at the far end, you started at the very, very low end. People like Demba Sabally, Abasanya, the recent road minister, Ibrahim Silla, they saw something in Gitteh that they did not want him to hang on.
What is that something?
Well, that we will not disclose that right now. But then those were the fights. But they knew categorically well, this guy, scored 31 votes. Since they did not want him to be the standard bearer, they have to play foul. And we went solo. Even though we did not win.
So at that time you started, caricature in the Barole administration.
No, we did not.
But that was what Gitteh was saying. Gitteh came out.
CD, personally. I push Mutanka, you hear.
But where is CD? On which political party is he vying for?
That is politics. We are vying for the same position. You don't expect me to keep fighting over you. We are convincing the electors to vote for us.
So does that warrant you to say things that automatically are not really of essence?
Politicians use everything under their custody to have votes from the electors.
So you're telling me that it is open everybody, any politician. If I'm getting you right, you just putting it straightforward that politicians are fakers.
That is your complaint. No. Politicians are never fakers.
But from you,
no,
you saying they can use anything from their custody to have what they want.
To get votes from their electorates.
So what does that mean? You even impersonate.
That is the reality of politicians.
We'll get to that. Now, moving to Omar. Omar, how do you see Gitteh's cross carpet? Because Mr. Ba, has elaborated something that Gitteh algorithm, CDCC, is a stun or was a stun. Doi supporter. Yeah. What is your justification towards that?
Right. Thank you very much. But before getting to your question, you asked a question. Why is it that Sabally covering about the APRC to join the United Democratic Party? You understand that these are from 2017. APRC was an opposition just like any other political camp. So that is best known to Sabally, why he left them, because to them, probably to Sabally, they are not going to win elections anymore. So Sabally's eye was on the biggest opposition political party in the Gambia. Abe Taradam and I hanged it for a while, so that they can uplift the ban and the sanction. Most of the times we don't we were not that deep into, but now moving from a United Democratic Party, an opposition political party, where the phone call barola more so if I'm like a journal that is the reality. So
for Ibafugan like Gitteh di Sabu Melanco, they joined NPP, IBMU, they also part the Kerenkafo.
He made mention of something that is very important. Our politicians are going to do anything within their custody. I debunk that statement.
Why?
I debunk it.
Justify it.
It's not politics. I give you what I have. Politics is a battle of ideas. I will tell you the ideas that I have. Ni idea. You vote for me, but not lying to the people. That is not. Who man get political? Whatever caring in Bangkok and time. Whatever NPP. That is why. What ne Gitteh bondi ila NPP, because you understand. It had a polls simple majority. And Gitteh 31 soto to him. Syria 30 soto. So yalang in a simple majority Gitteh of it. But time. Ako may atin na man Gitteh bon daka malefika waterfall. Like may atin na they do not want to bring Gitteh. Probably Gitteh alone ne ko corruption on the NPP. So nana ra bole pinpoint la. Wala ne masa mana. But honey saying Gitteh about NPP, he stand solo. Atata from a polls without any political party backing him. Saying Gitteh ba murnan ka o mo kilma la kamini ko wolle corruption of him. Saying Gitteh ba mo na fakandole ko corruption is something me along ko nta bayano. We have to be in the system. Dr. Caesar, if you want to change the system, you join the system. Those are philosophical mindset. There are some philosophies who believe in that if you cannot change the system, you join the system. If the system is corrupt, if you join the system is going to corrupt you.
So
no single individual can change the system.
So meaning Jesus joined NPP will not change the system.
Will not change anything.
But it was in the system.
NPP be nama kafu. Right now, Gitteh means Sabally and all those individuals. I don't know. Banko ko kolari naming banko dingol fi hani balu. I said this somewhere else. Borrowed a mark $150,000 to the State House. State House $150,000 every day till. And people when they are putting $150,000. Neo calculate monthly. That is how much. What mo now for the last time. Nyimbanko is no more tax dependent. Nyimbanko is loan and grants dependent. That is the hard reality. Ngana no nene. The money that is in the consolidated fund, Gitteh, Sabally, ibenya bole kang. The consolidated fund, ibenya bole kang. Let us not.
So you are saying that Gitteh's movement and Sabally movement
is all economically motivated, because NPP has nothing to offer. NPP man fence offer if you can agree with me. That is the reality for 7 good years. We are continuously experiencing bad leadership. Within that 7 years. Gitteh was there. He said he was the co-founder. He was part of the founders of NPP. Gitteh knows Barrow is not competent even in 2021. But we're not going to push.
So why are you saying Barrow is not competent?
Barrow is not competent. You cannot bring Halifa here, you bring Barrow, you bring Hussein. You choose Barrow over all these people. It's not possible. They're having ideas that can salvage this country. Most especially Halifa. His ideas can salvage the whole continent if the continent adopted it. But saying and then they still have to push for Barrow to come. There is a motive behind them pushing it. Maybe in Halifa the corruption is going to end. Gitteh and then the cause will not like it. Well, I didn't push in 2021. That's the reality. There are certain things, actions with the politician in politics, it costs the lives and the livelihood of people. Now for the last time, any action politicians take, any action, impacts the lives and livelihoods of the people, whether positively or negatively. If politician any move in politics, I can more impact. Gitteh move to NPP is going to impact the lives and livelihoods of the people negatively.
Thank you, Umar. Mr. Ba, what do you have to say about Omar?
Omar is making a lot of noise. Yeah, he talked about issues. He alleged a lot of issues. Dr. Ismaila Cisse never said, what he quoted. Doctor, I want to believe he made an error.
Doctor quoted that in front of me in a class. You cannot deny that.
Well, okay, fine.
Yeah, I think
the classroom.
Okay.
That's okay. That's fine. But as far as I'm aware, I have never heard that from Doctor, and I don't believe Doctor is that type. Barack Obama said, helping your head of state, run a state is helping a state. You helping the president to develop a country doesn't mean you hate the president. Irrespective of where you are, whether you are a politician, whether you are in opposition, or civil society, or whatsoever, helping the head of state winning or developing the country is helping the general body. He also alleged of Gitteh, part of the people that are looting. I wanted to quote verbatim for him. You know, well, to make you understand, Barrow was not brought by Gitteh. Barrow was never brought by Gitteh. You know, the root cause of Barrow's, taking mantle of leadership, I think you need to look at that first. Barrow was brought by the United Democratic Party. They supported him.
I said 2021.
Can you allow me to talk?
2021. I don't say 2021.
Allow him to talk.
Allow me to talk.
Yes.
Barrow was brought by the United Democratic Party, even though they knew this guy was not good enough. But they supported him. They put all efforts. When I say, politicians will put all efforts to win the mindset. If you have ideas, that's what you put on board to win the mindset of the electorate.
If you don't have
But this is what Doi use.
If you don't have ideas,
if you don't have ideas, why will the masses vote for you?
That
is the civic education.
You are telling them
that is
that even without ideas, you can use
No.
Yes. Wait. No. Mr. Ba, you made it very clear that politicians use anything under their custody to make sure people vote for them. And if you say anything, there is no specific. You've not specified yourself. You say anything, whether right or wrong, to make sure you get that. That's what you said. Well, unless now, if you justify your statement.
If a politician have ideas, that's what you put on board. And if a politician have money, he uses the money to influence voters.
So is that right?
If you are looking
is that right?
Politics within the framework of this country, I think you are getting everything wrong. You have to look politics as a whole. You understand? Electors were influenced of money, not to vote for Gitteh.
Is that right?
That is very wrong. This is what I'm telling you. Politicians use everything within their custody to influence. That is the reality. Whether Mr. Ba is doing it or not, but that doesn't change the fact that politicians are doing that. You understand? So dynamics youths like you have to advocate for decent and transparent politics. I don't have any problem with that. But the reality on the ground, a lot of people were alleged during our primaries being bribed. What can we do about it? We were not having money. We cannot bribe anybody. What we were having at our custody at the time was our sound mind and our policies, programs, and agendas. We sell that to the electors, they bought them. And we were able to win the elections. What I'm saying is, he said a lot of things, even though UDP, under the dynamic leadership of United Democratic Party, brought Barrow. We have no problem with that. In 2021, UDP divorced Barrow, and a lot of Gambians also married with him. You understand?
Does UDP divorce Barrow or Barrow divorce UDP?
Well, that is another debate for another day. But what happened is UDP and Barrow, they almost divorced. That is the root cause. You cannot blame Barrow now for having a lot of issues. Who brought Barrow? That is the question that you have to ask yourself. Who brought Barrow in the first place? Knowing that he is not competent, but you still want to, put him in the mantle of leadership. To look at the affairs of the average Gambians in this country. You did not go down well with him, you divorce him, and you want people, average Gambians also to divorce him. It is left to them to see. How you see stuff might be very different from how I see issues.
Right.
That is democracy. Suppose democracy is given a BSc holder or a PhD holder the right to have 5 or 10 votes. The mad person and an ordinary person on the road, the right to have only 1 vote. Then, the mindset will win. But everybody have equal vote. Even though you have your PhD, you have only 1 vote. So average Gambian is choosing an individual that was brought by somebody. I think, it's okay. Civil advocacy is good. Let us advocate for political awareness and stuff like that. And, together we can move the nation, I want to believe.
Interesting. So Mr. Ba is saying that, he has justified the point because, earlier on what you've said is like, politicians use whatever is under their custody to, convince people to vote for them. But eventually, Omar is saying that is not really what he believes in. He believes, you have to, politics is about ideas. Let's debate on ideas, bring ideas to people and convince them to vote for you. So, basically, now let's move on to Mr. Omar. We'll come to you. Or do you have anything to say about, okay.
That is something that is very important that we should consider. That is, Barrow coming to power. Let's now go deep to a little bit into history. In 2016, when political parties met to bring Barrow, Kabiri politician in Kairaba, and then they met the primaries together, and Barrow happens to be the eventual winner of the primaries. So Barrow happens to be the flag bearer of the coalition in 2016. So, Sign, you ask yourself, Minekeron, what happens there? Why is it that among all the other individuals, Barrow was the one that is chosen? Yes, he made something very, very important that I will agree, that United Democratic Party brought him. And then they know fully well, just like Gitteh knows that they are not competent, but they still have to push him. So United Democratic Party made that mistake. I don't know whether it's a mistake or a blunder in 2016, bringing Barrow as the flag bearer of United Democratic Party at the primaries of the coalition, and eventually they happened to win. So, Sign, Capital Keta, we all know that, what time governments were desperate for change. Like Halifa Babar, people are going to vote. Because what time everybody was sick and tired of whatsoever is happening in the country. We think it was a dictatorial moment. We think, things were not going fine. We think, things are hard. We think our voices are not anchored. We are suppressed that. So now, 2017, Barrow won the election. 2016, December 1st. So 2017, he get into power. So, Sign, from 2017, let's now go to 2021, the last presidential elections. Come on, Gitteh was a co-founder
of NPP.
Was part of the founders of the National People's Party. So it is telling you that Gitteh was at the center of any decision that is going to be taken by National People's Party. So the decision of Gitteh bringing Barrow is not false.
Yes, I think Mr. Ba, what do you have to say now? Because like Omar is saying, that is very obvious.
Yeah, that's why
that is very obvious.
The statement that Gitteh and Barrow Nafi.
No, nobody said Gitteh and Barrow Nafi. You were missing an episode to another episode. You understand? Barrow was brought by average Gambians in 2016. Come Yafunya, people were desperate in 2016 from the dictatorial regime of Jammeh. Thinking Barrow is a better candidate. Which a lot of people are regretting now. What I'm saying, Gitteh did not only bring Barrow, Gitteh is part of the co-founders of the National People's Party. That's why it angers him so much, seeing somebody from elsewhere, somebody from your political party, being elected on top of him, who have founded the National People's Party, to run for the office of the chairmanship. That was so hurting and burning. That's why he have to go solo. And it was his right to go solo. Even though, the NPP will lose the seat. That is okay. But picking somebody, CD from your political party, on top of our candidate was very, very wrong. And a lot of people, were with the mindset that was wrong. Not even within the NPP and within the UDP. A lot of people were hailing his move. That shows you, how principled he is. Irrespective of whatever he did for the National People's Party, the moment they want to trample on his principle, you see him like the sun. That is it. What we are saying generally, youth participation in politics, I think is very, very important. We cannot just sit outside and castigating policies, programs, and agendas, parastatals and government. We have to take active participation. The noise, it's okay. We have to put them into account, but we have to take actions too. We have to take ownership of issues. We cannot leave everything in their hand. And I think us and Team Gitteh, this is what we are doing. We are not saying we are back to the National People's Party, because we are not back. This is our political party that we built. We built the political party. So we cannot see it to be destroyed by strangers. When two brothers fight.
Yeah. Mr. Ba, we're out of time. Now, Mr. Ba, what do you think is positive in NPP that forced or warrants, Gitteh to cross carpet?
Average Gambians, if you look at Gambian politics, if you understand Gambian politics that much, they don't believe in independence. You stand for independence. You might not tend to win the majority of the mindset. And this is a political party that.
But we've seen independent candidates. Within.
When I say average, I want to believe you will understand what I mean. Not fine. Independence can win, but look at the independence and look at the ratio compared to somebody who stands for let me tell you, there are some political parties, even though they take a stick as their representative, others will vote for them. Mark that. So a lot of people, they are in conformity with the political party than independent, because they subscribe to political party, because they don't want the other opponent from the different political party to succumb them. So that's why we have learned a lot during our independence struggle. You know, we spend a lot of money. Politics is very, very expensive and stuff like that. But we choose the cause. We choose the cause because after tilimbali ala baila and don't say we have achieved that. You know,
so
okay. We cannot bend our head compared to the national people's party.
Same thing. Gambia, in our current country right now, I mean, tilimbala bekirinya futimanda kirinya.
That is relative. That is very, very relative. Tilimbala as a kenole.
So ite what's happening?
Well, I do not understand. Maybe what do you mean by Nkea? At the time, Tilimbala ala kandol kanne. Andunga kerede. Andunga ngajelo ko adantan. You know, we did not force ourselves back. They have to call. They have to involve a lot of dignitaries, a lot of respected elderly people in this country. We never wanted to left me alone. We will have stayed solo.
So it's still is Gitteh still maintaining saying the Barom Hasidoldi? Other things is just with Baro right now. So
well,
why they just like statements for the sake of politics, like you mentioned? Like I mean,
no, you are misquoting me. You are definitely misquoting.
I am not. I don't think.
Gitteh said Barom Hasidoldi. So I don't hear that one. And
are you serious?
I'm very serious.
Okay, it's a choice. It's a choice. Like perhaps I'm saying it's a choice. No, I'm not denying the fact. I'm just saying it's a choice that if you say you don't hear it, and I think I will not force it.
I think Gitteh have all rights to say that, because more he stood between you and the United Democratic Party. To stand between a person and UDP. Maybe you don't know who is UDP. Gitteh Bantambille Baroni UDP came up. Gitteh took all kind of insults for Baro. He even had to sacrifice his family to be. I mean, they went far. Fighting against United Democratic Party. Gitteh did that. So in the end, Gitteh was, in fact, Baro, when they won election in 2021, Baro stood on national TV and said, you know, my cabinet will be a youthful cabinet this time. A lot of people were anticipating Gitteh to be the sport minister at the time.
Is it a youth?
Well, Gitteh is a youth. What is your definition of a youth?
But I mean, they'll tell you, youth is the person who is within the age of 15 to 35.
And do you know the age of Gitteh?
But I mean, approximately, I will tell you, Gitteh is I will tell you, generally,
approximately. No. So what happened? A lot of people were thinking Gitteh would have been the youth minister. Gitteh never wanted to be youth minister. He flew to Canada. What Gitteh wanted is, you know, this is a council that paid my school fees. This is a council, you know, that brought us up from Jamia to Nusrat Senior Secondary School. You know, I want to give back to the people of West Coast region. Give me the mantle of leadership in the NPP placard. Let me run for Brikama Area Council. Let them vote for me. You know, well, whether Baro has influenced that election or not, for Gitteh, Baro is the right person who should decide on that. Because we have seen it. There was an election in Baro, in NPP Congress. Baro stood and said, for this position and that position, don't vote for it. Sidinjai was never voted in Congress. That guy, the APRC guy who cross-carpeted, the Batibu person, I want to forget. There are key positions. Baro don't want people to vote against those individuals. Baro could have done the same thing. You know, looking at the sacrifice that
was that even right?
That was very wrong in a democratic process.
So still no.
And what they did to us at the regional office in West Coast was equally wrong in a democratic process.
Okay, we'll cut. Okay, Omar, Mr. Ba, if I'm getting you right, what you trying to put across that Gitteh joins or flip-flop again to NPP because
that's a very long word to use.
Flip-flop. No, but no, does it? He was there. He left, right? Is that right?
He never left.
But he left. He left and he ran solo.
What is left?
No, but he abstained himself from the political party. That was the right thing. If the more you do that, mean you ran away.
If you are a registered political a member of a political party.
Sorry.
If you are a registered member, by leaving you have to resign, like what the UDP participants or members are doing right now. You have to take a formal resignation to a political party. What we saw was Demba Sabally, because Demba at the time believed a lot of sympathizers of NPP will have voted for Gitteh. He issued a riff-raff letter to say Gitteh is no longer an NPP member. But then, when Gitteh was coming back, there was nothing like official letter and stuff like that. Shows you Gitteh was still a member of the National People's Party.
But Team Gitteh, did not, object to that letter that was, brought forward by the
Well, Team Gitteh is an established team. We talk on issues and we agree. Very democratic. Personally, it was very difficult for me to agree to go back to that political party that stabbed us behind our back when we needed them the most. But, in a democratic setting, especially in an executive, 2/3 majority, you have to go with it. Because I subscribe and conform with the team. So we have to go back.
Thank you very much. Omar, what do you have to say? Regarding Mr. Mohamed Eliman Ba's, statement that Gitteh went back to NPP because he thinks like NPP is the right candidate, right? I think if from your speech or from your deliberation, that is the thing that you are putting across, right?
Yeah. So I just want to ask whether the Sabally position about Bull back then, was he the secretary to the admin to NPP or what? What is the position of the Sabally by then? In as much as sometimes we will send our resignation letters to political parties for us to resign. Political parties are also having the right to expel other individuals from their party if they think that individual does not tally with some of the things that they preach, the ideas that they preach. So maybe he just wrote that letter riff-raffly and then share it that Gitteh is no more with them. Gitteh they boycott Gitteh. Gitteh boycott them. It's a matter of everybody going solo. Gitteh wants to go solo, NPP goes solo. I am not backing NPP, I'm not defending it, but what I am telling him now, Gitteh does not have any moral rights. I'm telling you this for free. Any moral rights to talk about what is happening in this country anymore.
Why do you say that?
Come on, it is very plain. NPP was not having the need. It's still not having the needs and aspirations of the people. On a daily basis. Prices are skyrocketing, and when they go up, they will never come down.
What is Doi doing about it?
What can we do about it? We are just an opposition politics. All what we can do is to criticize. All what we can do as a political party is to criticize.
Can I give you what Gitteh is doing as an individual? Let me help you.
He's saying
my political party is based here. Gitteh is in Canada enjoying life when Halifa and then the people are suffering here.
Those are allegations.
He's in Canada. Gitteh immediately after elections, where did
he left? He left. That's
the reality.
He left.
Bro, we have to accept that these are realities on the ground. Gitteh left to Canada immediately after the election. Halifa is staying here, criticizing the government constantly, giving them constructive. That is all we can do. Because in the round we cannot do that.
But you don't need to be the mantle of leadership to change issues.
But that's why he's telling you that.
In your own reality, Gitteh was in Canada enjoying life. That's in your own reality. You understand? That we respect opinions. We don't fight with them. Gitteh have an established foundation in this country, sponsoring youths in this country, children, orphans, the most needy. Gitteh is sponsoring students at the University of the Gambia where you are attending right now. Do you know that? So when you say Gitteh have no moral right or obligation to talk about the development of this country, I think that is false. That is absolutely false.
It's your opinion to
no, it is a big false. Gitteh is having an established foundation, of course, in collaboration with Carleton University in Canada. Do you know Gitteh was taken to Canada by the government? Then President of Yahya Jammeh, because he sees skills and talent in this young boy. You understand? But to say Gitteh have no moral right, that is huge. That's very, very huge. He have a foundation that is still sponsoring people, and people are benefiting from that. Youngsters of this country are benefiting from that. The educationists in this country, a lot of people graduate from the University of the Gambia under the leadership, under the sponsorship of Ahmed Gitteh. So I don't know. Is Doi doing that as a political party? No, they are not.
Is that the responsibility of a political party?
Is that the responsibility of Ahmed Gitteh? I mean, you don't need to be in the mantle of leadership to support the government. Or for you, people like you think supporting Barrow, I mean, is a weakness. You support Barrow, you are supporting the people in your constituency.
But the question is, I mean,
Well,
are you supporting in the right? No, wait. No. I mean,
when you have a hidden agenda behind an issue, this is how you
I do not have anything.
No, and let me ask, what is Doi doing regarding this failed government? Just tell me, what is Doi doing?
no,
Allow me. That is one thing you should understand, that the responsibilities of opposition political parties. Opposition on the community. First, you hold government accountable.
Is Doi doing that?
So you want to tell me Doi is not?
I'm asking you. Yeah, is Doi doing
Of course we are doing it.
How? Tell me.
We hold several press conferences to talk to people about the difficulties of this country. That is what we can do as an opposition political. You don't expect us at state house we cannot do that. All what we can do is to hold them accountable. Holding them accountable is having our own press conferences aside, talking to people about the difficulties of this country. So that is what the opposition political parties meant to do.
You are limiting your ability.
okay, now, tell us. Okay, now,
You are limiting it.
no, okay, now, tell us what could they do more?
This is not a Doi mindset.
Now,
This is definitely not a Doi mindset.
okay, now,
The leadership of Doi, I respect them so well. Doi Khalifa, to be honest, he's a Pan-Africanist. For me, he's a Pan-Africanist.
Okay,
my worry is, without Khalifa Sallah, how will Doi operate? If this is the mindset that we are getting from the Doi membership.
That is the reality on the
okay, now, could you tell me, like, what are some of the, the fronts on opposition political party? He said, holding the account is key. But you say that he's limiting their responsibilities. Now, take us through,
participating in national development.
In what way?
In your various constituencies that you are in. We have seen, political parties that are really participating in national development. I don't need to name them. We have seen.
No, for clarity purposes,
after 2016, we have seen some major political parties that are participating in national development. That is to say, one way in putting the government account. I wholeheartedly agree. But then you cannot limit yourself, within the framework of press conference. Doi as a political party refused to contest in a lot of the seats, even though they will claim refuse. Even though they will claim here is not our stronghold. Where is their stronghold? Where is Doi's stronghold? Serekunda, Khalifa did not contest.
What we've seen,
they contest, they failed.
What we've seen, Omar himself, the vice president of in Foni.
Very few. They contest in very few compared to other parties. In fact, GDC that came latest, even though they were not that popular, they contested many of the seats. Doi, I think your mindset is needed. The mindset of Khalifa Sallah is very much needed in the development of this country. Nobody can dispute that. So you have, in my view, you have to collaborate with the government and help him succeed. By doing that, all this skyrocketing price of rices, I think we will not have complained by now. But then if you sit at your corner, criticizing the government without showing up issues, I respect, the leadership of the, to be honest. I respect them. But then you have to contribute. You have to show up.
Is there an avenue given for, people
political parties?
Yeah, to move on? Because, what we see in this country, what people say, or what, critics say is that, the only time you have, you work with the ruling government is when you join their bandwagon. So the moment they see you in a different, camp, you are always an opposite to them, and therefore, at most time, critics say that you are not given the chance that, it's needed for you to.
If that is the case, that shouldn't be.
But I think, in fact,
if that is the case, that shouldn't be. If that is the case, if those critics are saying that, and that is the case on the ground, government, should be very vigilant on issues. Should give people equal opportunity to run their own issues, irrespective of whether you are on top of affairs or you are on opposition. Government should give space. I think recently, the government of the Ghana, under the leadership of Barrow, call for national dialogue. I personally, I welcome that national dialogue, and I want to believe, such issues will continue. Thereby, people will have, their say on the national key. Oppositions will come together and discuss. This been happening in other countries, like Senegal.
Yeah, but still,
dialogue is a very normal issue in other countries.
Yeah, this national dialogue.
National dialogue
will stand important if things discussed there will put that into place.
Things can only be into place when people are constantly putting the government into account, when people are constantly answering to the national dialogue. We have some people. The national dialogue. We have to give credit where it is due. Of course, the government also should decentralize issues. They should not suppress the opposition political parties not to do their functions. Thank you.
Thank you very much. So, Omar, in just 2 or 1 minute, do you think like Gitteh's movement to NPP serve as a betrayal to the people that are looking up to Gitteh?
Yeah, like you made mention, opposition should hold governments accountable. Gitteh is now in their bandwagon. The bandwagon of, let's say, I want to use this word, but no. Let's say a bandwagon of thieves. So the likes of Barrow, the likes of Barrow, Sidin Jai, Gitteh and Sabally. These are individuals we are on board. Let's call it spade a spade. If Gitteh is outside, if Gitteh was outside NPP, you will understand the coming Gitteh outside NPP. He's saying things that are very realistic and things that the government should adopt. But now, Gitteh is in. We know how African politics, or most especially government politics, work. You cannot be in the government and criticizing them. You cannot be there and criticizing them. Kabring Sabally joined the NPP now, like it has been 2 months or so, or 1 month, some weeks. And then Sabally he wrote something against the government. All what he will be saying is the youth are happy, the youth are. He now becomes Giria. The same thing will happen. Sabally was saying things that are very instrumental. But now, I joined the NPP. He cannot do that. Gitteh was saying something very instrumental. But say, I joined the NPP. He cannot say it. Because now for that, Barrow is going to kick him out of the box. So kicking him out of the in the primaries, I got they stab him on his back. The same thing will happen. This time around they will not stab him on the back, they will stab him at the front. So everything will be over. So there is one thing that we all have to understand. Political parties coming up in Yemen are built based on principles. And every political party should not jeopardize your principle for any other reason. I give you my words. Because I think that is my principle and that is what I will stand on. No matter how hard it is, I will pledge it. But saying, what is Doyle doing? What is Doyle doing? All what we can do is to hold press conferences and we cannot force, he does not understand the structure of Doyle. The central committee of that political party do not appoint people to stand for them. Well, I think not only NPP for we have grassroots level. More level grassroots, you show interest. In every ward you have what is called your ward activist. It is called the ward committee or every constituency. So in a contest, you go through them, you write an application, they send it to the well, I think that there are some National Assembly members that are not part of the central committee of that political party. If you are there, you are just a ceremonial head because you are holding a position. But your voices are limited. Allow me. Joining other political parties further. So what I can you should understand this. One of the reasons that DOI can do at our level, that is the central committee under the leadership of DOI, we cannot force people to come and contest on our bandwagon. Can we do that? Do we have that right? No. We believe in democracy that everybody has the right to vote and to be voted for. If you think you are capable of doing that work and you want to fight for that position in our political ticket, we are going to give you the ticket. But if you do not come, you cannot go and force people to come out. Because I am in for what and co. I am Momodou, politicians will use anything under their custody to win votes. That is what we don't believe in. We are not going to give people money because we want them to stand for them. We want them to stand for us in their various constituencies or what. We are not going to do that. All what we can do is to hold press conferences where we are going to hold government accountable. We talk about the national dialogue, very important position, a very important point. I mean, national dialogue. Yes, I will agree with him to some extent that some other political parties refuse to go to the national dialogue. That is a blunder. Nobody should do that. Nobody should do that. But is the national dialogue really going to save the life and the livelihoods of the people? I was at the national dialogue, and I saw sitting there saying things that are not realistic, telling people that employment rate capital to 500%. Have you ever seen 500%? I am not good at mathematics, but I know that it doesn't happen. 500% also blah. And the development is still going. People are not employed in this country. The living of this country is going high every day. And the political parties as oppositions can't do anything to bring it down apart from press conferences and holding the government into account by criticizing them, giving them constructive criticism. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Esteemed viewers, just to remind you once again, this is your current affairs program here on Fine TV Gambia, your only viewpoint. And then it is indeed, a very hot, sharing the platform with these two great individuals. Now, Mr. Ba, we just ran out of time. Just to make it short, in a precise, way. Could you tell us, critics say that Gitteh's movement to NPP is economically motivated. Take us through that, just in a minute.
Thank you. First, I didn't understand, and I stand by that again. What do you mean by Gitteh's movement to NPP? Gitteh, who is an NPP, member, who is an NPP founder?
Mr. Ba, okay, take it.
I won't answer the question the way you want me to answer. I think if you ask me a question. Allow me to answer the way I feel.
Go on.
Gitteh is an NPP member. He felt betrayed and went for solo. So things happen, issues happen within the party, and that happened everywhere in political parties. Thank God he did not, move out completely. He is with them. So you are talking about economical whatsoever, monetarized. Then,
Critics say he moved.
No, that's what you are saying. That is what you are saying. That is
no, not me. I made it clear. I said,
give me the question of Fine TV. Don't give me the question of somebody.
I said critics say that.
All right, fine. Gitteh was never moved by economic base or whatsoever. Even though it was very, very hard for us to go solo. Politics in this country is expensive, and we manage it. You see women from the gardens and will come and support. For me, Gitteh is an established somebody, having his family in Canada, but then his mindset, his conscience will not allow him to be in Canada alone, having our people suffering, in West Coast. This is a region where he was born. This is a region where he was educated, and Jammeh used the taxpayers' money to give Gitteh scholarship to Canada. So after completing your schooling, left to him alone, he will have stayed, like a lot of people are doing. That's what we call brain drain. You will feel like the government can no longer pay you. Having certain degrees and whatsoever outside, you will feel like it's only UN, WHO, and those organizations can pay you. Gitteh did not believe that. You have to come back, struggle with the people, the ordinary people in this country, fight for the chairmanship. At this stage, he believed this is what will help, using his mindset, to change the life and the livelihood of average people that are residing in the West Coast region. To answer your question, he was never moved by monetary stuff. Thank you.
Thank you. So, moving on now, we are almost at the tail of the program. So, Omar, do you have anything to say? He said that he just moved to NPP. It's not economically motivated. What's your take on that?
Yeah, I will just say that it's just an opinion from him and Gitteh. But, it is very clear that if Gitteh wants to, there are so many political parties in the country that Gitteh can join and impact, and still keep on criticizing the government to stop the blunders that they are doing. But that is not happening. We talk about the security aspect of this country, the political aspect. Every 3 months, I will tell you this for free. Sometimes even the people are telling me that is always fighting for the people of Foni. But that is the hard fact. Every 3 months, people are going to come into our land. It's a Gambian land, even though we are located at Foni, but they are going to kill our people. The people of the Gambia. Security aspect. It's weak. It's not our fault that we are living at the porous borders. Is that our fault? You cannot blame us for that. That is not our fault. Politically, we have seen individuals with great minds. I agree, Lara Obama is an individual with a great mind. But what is the essence of your mind? What is the essence of your mind if you cannot use it to impact lives and livelihoods of your people?
Are you saying that Gitteh is using his mind?
I am not saying that.
No, you are saying that.
I am not saying that. What I am trying to put across is
He said
what I am
trying to
allow him.
He said that already. Unless you withdraw it. But he said that. No, you have to withdraw that.
Oh, he said he would not withdraw.
You maintain it.
Yes. That is telling you that when I said this today, when you come back tomorrow, you'll find me.
No, that is not.
I will not.
That is not.
I have my reasons why I said Gitteh do not have any moral obligation, moral right.
You don't have any reasons.
To talk to people about what is happening. Allow me.
What are your reasons?
Allow me.
Allow me.
This guy is making politics. What he have done for the people of Foni and so. What is your reason? Why do you say that Gitteh have no moral obligations?
Will you allow me?
I will definitely. So I'm very civilized individuals. I will allow you.
Thank you very much. So now, we have seen individuals like Gitteh. Let me say it in my Gitteh. And dunia bango be ala na mo si bala man. Mo ba ko lo ko be ya I don't know so. But come last time I'm Sabally ko lo. Mo be ba apply ko how do they call it? Gambian pen. If you cannot use that pen or if you cannot use that mindset to impact lives and livelihoods of your people, you cannot tell me Gitteh joining NPP is going to impact lives and livelihoods. NPP has never impacted lives. The only life that they impact is their own life and then the lives of their family. That is the only life they impact.
Thank you, Omar. Thank you. We don't have time. So, Mr. Ba, moving on. We don't have time, Mr. Ba. So, we're moving on now. And Mr. Ba, can you take us through? Like, what is the current condition of Team Gitteh? Are you maintaining Team Gitteh or Team Gitteh, the entire Team Gitteh, have moved to NPP? Because we've seen people like Mansa Sumare, Lion Mara and others went back to NPP. So are you also, or do Team Gitteh move to NPP or Team Gitteh is still Team Gitteh?
You know, it's funny, you know, people like Omar, you know, is your name Omar?
Yes.
People like Omar, you know, well, that's okay. Let's have that for another day, you know, but it's okay for having divergent view on issues and respecting people's opinion based on their willingness to join political parties. You know, joining NPP, you know, you should not be a blue-like structure. Joining UDP again the same. You know, civilized politics for me is very necessary in every society. NPP for me is not an enemy to a state, neither DOI or United Democratic Party. So therefore, respecting people's view and their feelings to associate is franchise. I think we need to acknowledge that. You know, and saying NPP as a political party or as the government haven't changed anything, that's a big dishonesty, to be honest. You know, they have did great stuff, even though we want to, you know, negligent those issues. You know, NPP have tried immensely, you know, taking this country from a dictatorial regime, establishing.
Was that NPP?
No, not NPP.
Why that was a collective?
Well, yeah, let me collaborate. The UDP and NPP then.
That was not even only UDP.
Okay, Coalition 2016.
Thank you.
They have did very well. From 2021, NPP did a lot of issues in this country. They have tried. I mean, I didn't need to mention. You are an open-minded you. You are seeing stuff. Maybe you are denying the fact of seeing because you are a politician at an opposite angle. We respect that. It's okay. You know, at Team Gitteh, we remain Team Gitteh. That's very normal in political parties. You know, people have, you know, names of individuals representing groups and stuff like that. Women Kafo, you know, and stuff like that. You know, Team Gitteh is still existing, you know, and we move in as Team Gitteh. and stuff like that.
If you say Team Gitteh is existing, in what capacity are you talking about?
Team Gitteh is existing in capacity of Team Gitteh.
So it is standing as Team Gitteh.
Yes, so we are existing as the capacity of Team Gitteh.
Now let's assume there is an election going on in West Coast right now.
Yes.
Would Team Gitteh, go in solo instead of going with NPP?
No, Gitteh is an NPP individual. Gitteh is NPP now.
Yes, I'm saying Team Gitteh.
I mean, there is. We have a universal set and subset on.
Are you saying Team Gitteh and Gitteh is quite different?
Team Gitteh and Gitteh is in conformity. This is the same thing.
So if Gitteh moves, what does that indicate?
And the team moves.
So agree on that team moves.
Of course they did. But you asked me the start of Team Gitteh.
Yeah, but you said Team Gitteh, Team Gitteh.
It's not Team Gitteh.
Meaning you go in solo. Like for example, when there's election, you will not join the NPP, but you will have candidates from Team Gitteh.
When there is election, NPP will be choosing Ahmed Gitteh to run as a flag bearer.
So Team Gitteh is running.
The rest assured. Of course, yes.
That's what I want to hear.
Thank you very much. And the youths of West Coast region, and I won't do justice when I didn't say.
Yeah, we come to that. We will give you a time to throw in. So now, just to wrap up, and then I'll call it. Still now, Mr. Bar. Was Team Gitteh formed out of anger?
Yes, Team Gitteh was formed out of anger. Was formed because we believe we were betrayed. It was formed because we believe the principles of NPP were not respected. It was formed because we believe there is a breach of democracy. Democracy dictates majority carries the vote and majority carries the voice of average people in a particular setting. We went on primaries, we won the primaries, and we were denied and defied. For us, we have to fight what we believe belongs to us. So we went solo. Team Gitteh was formed. But then Ahmed was having his close associates. It was Team Gitteh, because at the time he was moving, during the presidential elections, he was the one moving with the First Lady, the First Lady's family and stuff like that. He was having that team with him. That team still exists with him, even though they were in NPP. Yeah. They supported him through thick and thin to make sure and ensure he run for the chairmanship election, and which we did, even though we lost.
Okay, you've mentioned that in this platform that term limits should be put in place. Do you recall that?
Yes, that's
so. What is your current stance? Are you still in the interest to Barrow to move for the third time? Even though it's not the law in this country that there is term limit, but like from your own perspective, what is your take on that?
I maintain that 100%. Barrow said he is a fan of term limit, and he said people should expect the constitution to be bad. My personal opinion, I believe he was having the problem of the retrospective part of the constitution, but there are a lot of issues in that constitution that will have helped the average Gambians. Even though we did not have the term limit in the 1997 constitution, morally, Barrow should respect that time limit. In fact, a lot of his meetings he's saying, I want to be that president who will leave office and have my party member, to be the next flag bearer and win elections. He believed that. And still now, people are in suspense. Even myself, I want to believe Barrow will not stand for that time.
That's your belief?
Yeah, that's my belief. That is my belief. And I pray and hope that Barrow did not stand for third term.
So how will you feel if he stands for the third term?
Well, I'll feel disappointed. But then this is not the first time Barrow is disappointing, There was a time that 3 years Jotna, Barrow stood and said, man businessman la, man kay yati atlek doyal na. But then he changed. But then those issues were also influenced by, politics is very dynamic. There are a lot of things that happen. Left to Barrow alone, in my independent opinion, he will have stepped down. But people influence him. People like Usainu Dabo of United Democratic Party influence him to stand. So, politics is very dynamic. It is very, very dynamic. As we move, things unfold. But I'm expecting Barrow will step down, in this, his term.
Mr. Ba, finally, what message do you have for the viewers before you come back to us?
Thank you very much, and thank you for having us. I think this is, this is very fruitful. You know, I think we should engage in dialogues, you know. You know, in every civilized society, people engage in dialogue. Opinions might differ, but the interest, the nationalism of a particular state of country remain the same. That is very fine. Respect to Umar from a Doi, you know, point of view. He said that people with principle. And saras to all the viewers, especially the people of West Coast. You know, the Gambian geographers, we are launching, you know, very recently we will launch the association, and finally we will be invited, you know, because, permit me, the globe is having one major problem, that is, you know, climate change and global warming. The temperature of the world is rapidly increasing. You know, the emission of CO2, carbon dioxide, is increasing. Even though Donald J. Trump of United States will say it's a money-making industry by the Chinese. He did not believe in climate change. But industrialization has increased the release of carbon dioxide. Thereby, we are having a lot of climate change impacts. The rise of sea level, the melting of the ice, the increase of the global temperature. This is hurting. You know, I believe as youth, you know, we have a role to play. The Estes Foundation is doing immensely very well. You know, planting trees for carbon sequestration. I believe this is very, very good. The Association of Gambian Geographers also, which will be launched next month, inshallah, will try by all possible means to tackle issues, sensitize people, mitigation and adaptations to climate change. Saras to all the people in West Coast and the executive of the Association of Gambian Geographers. Thank you for NTV for having us.
Thank you very much, Mr. Ba, and it's a pleasure to have you. Omar, finally, what message do you have to for the people, because you run out of time?
Yeah, but before going, I would like to put something across that. I'm saying this here today. What is it there today? Today is on the 3rd March. That Barrow is coming for the 3rd term. Without a doubt. There is no signs that show us that Barrow. He mentioned it clearly. I don't know where he have his rally around the provinces that he's coming for the 3rd term. So there is no way that Barrow will not come until death do him apart. That we do not pray for him to die now. Yeah, but yeah. So my last word is thank you very much, viewers. You are viewing us live from Fine TV Gambia. You all leave your point, and thank you very much for having me.
Thank you, and then thanks to Mr. Ba and of course Omar Sanyam for accepting our invitation. We are grateful. So esteemed viewers, just to cut it here, this was your current affairs show here on Fine TV Gambia, and on theme centrally centered on the current political development of the Gambia. So until then, thanks for watching, and then see you next week, inshallah. I was your host, Ibrahim Bay. Bye-bye.